write the recursive rule for the sequence. So here we have a couple examples. We have to write the recursive rule. So we want to look at the sequence and try to determine what's happening. Is there any sort of pattern that we see? So if we're going from 3 to 8, we're increasing by 5. From 8 to 13, we're increasing by 5. 13 to 18, we're increasing by 5. So this actually tells me that it's arithmetic because it has that common difference, where the difference is going to be a 5. And then for a recursive rule, the other thing we want to know is what term do we start out with? Our first term is a 3. So writing the recursive rule has two parts. First part, always tell people where to start. Let them know the first term. A sub 1 is a 3. We start with a 3. Now, to write the rule, a sub n equals, what we do is we say you take the previous term. Our way of writing previous term is a sub n minus 1. So if our previous term is a 3, what are we going to do to the 3 to get the 8? And that's where we are just going to add that common difference. So you take your previous term and you add 5 to it. And then you take that previous term, add 5. Previous term, add 5. So that pattern just continues. And we can build the same sequence right here. So there's the recursive rule for that sequence. Now if we look at this next sequence, we have 2, 8, 32, 28. You know what's happening here? Just at a quick glance, I can see that it's not being added by the same number. You know, we're not increasing by a common difference. So I might think about, could this be geometric? To get from 2 to 8, we are multiplying by 4. To get from 8 to 32, we're multiplying by 4. So right now I'm seeing a pattern emerge. 32 to 28, we're multiplying by 4. Because we're multiplying by the same number, that is a common ratio. So our ratio is 4. So we can write a recursive rule for a geometric sequence. Ratio is 4. The other thing we want to know is the first term, so people know where to start. First term is a 2. So coming over here, remember 2 parts to a recursive rule. Let people know where to start, so show them the first term, which is a 2. And then the rule is, well, what are you going to do to the previous term? If you have that 2, how do you get the next one? And that's the multiplying by the common ratio. So you're going to take 4, your common ratio, and multiply it by the previous term. And then just remember the previous term notation is a sub n minus 1. So this is the recursive rule that will get you every term in this geometric sequence.